Well, hello friends, and welcome back to our dining room. We are finally getting started on this room. I've been really excited about getting to it, but I apologize that it's taken me this long. So I have this entire table completely covered in all of the decor that we're going to be using. I love to bring a lot of like foliage into this room. Let me show you a little bit of what we have so I can give you an idea of what we're working with. Okay, well, I want to say a big thank you to Eyewear for being the sponsor of this week's video. I'm going to be showing you guys the new frames that I got from these guys. Looking real good. Eyewear offers quality, affordable, and customizable frames. These things are interchangeable. So you take the original frame and you can put these little magnetic tops on them and they just click right into place like this. I have never worn white eyeglasses before, so I thought that these would be kind of fun. It's almost like a mother of pearl type texture. I think that these were in like the premium tops. And then there's these guys. Maybe this is a little bit more of like an actual authentic mother of pearl look going on. I'll show you these as well. So what I've got going on right now is this like typical tortoise shell that you see, and then these just click on so easy. So I would love to show you guys a little bit of footage of their website. This is such a great site. It allows you to be able to look at yourself. So I tried it both on my desktop and on my phone, but I'll show you a little screen record that I made. And as you guys can see on here, all you have to do is just go to the frame, and then there is a virtual try-on within this website. And here you can try on the frames. I also love that they're labeled with like wide or narrow, or you know, just for your average face size. I've got a huge head, and so I decided to go with larger glasses just because I feel like oftentimes whenever I try to get them, they make my head look enormous in these little tiny glasses on my eyes. And so I'm using these giant frames to try to fool you all into thinking that my head is a normal size. Anyway, so you can go on here, you can try on different frames and different colors within the frames. You can try on the frames themselves, or you can try on the top frames, or else they also have like shades. So I actually got two pairs of shades. I got these, which are the tortoise with the green. Green is always my favorite as far as sunglasses go, but I will say that I wanted to be a trendy girl, and I also got them in brown. I feel like brown is a little bit more trendy for 2025, and so I wanted to try both of them. And so here are the brown shades. I'm feeling very cool. I don't know, what do you guys think? Do I look all right? So the process of ordering was super simple. They shipped them to me right away, and they have both prescription and non-prescription options. Because I'm blind, of course I did prescriptions. If you guys don't know, I typically take off my glasses for filming, but I wear glasses for like probably 75% of my life. And I think that these are gonna be a staple in what I wear all the time. And honestly, think about how much cheaper it is to buy one frame and then multiple tops than having to buy different pairs of glasses for every different look that you want. Pair is offering my viewers a 15% discount on your first pair. You guys can look at the link in my description and use my code. You can also use this QR code. Thank you so much to Pair for sponsoring today's video. Now let's get back to decorating. I love to just lay all of our pieces out together just to get an idea of kind of like what kind of color scheme I'm working with. I try to be really intentional with the colors that I bring into our living room. You guys know that I'm not like anti-orange. It's just not my favorite. It doesn't necessarily feel like fall, especially here in Nebraska. We don't have like crazy color trees here or anything. This all feels very much more Midwestern landscape. As much as I would love to have like the bright fall colors, this is just kind of where we actually are. Oh my gosh, there's spiderwebs in it. I shared this with you guys in my retreat video from last year when I hosted all of my friends from YouTube. We went to this beautiful store called Salt Creek Mercantile in Ashland, Nebraska, and I bought this wreath there. I actually bought it for spring, thinking that, oh, you know, it's got lavender in it, and it has faded so much with time, which, you know, that happens with a natural wreath. And now I feel like it feels so much more appropriate for fall as opposed to spring. So we're gonna go ahead and just hang it here on our front door to greet all of our guests that come in and cannot open because we don't have a door handle. Beautiful. Okay, so next we're gonna do our little desk area. This is where all the magic happens. Very messy in there, we'll close that. We're gonna go ahead and work here. I typically just decorate this little spot right here. I mean, this plant stays there year round. I used to switch these out with the seasons, but I love the simplicity of them and the neutral colors. They honestly work for like any season. Plus, I think it's cool that it's like the Cruden's Concordance, an antique Holy Bible, and then an antique history of the Christian Church. So, love the content of these. But let's just bring a couple of elements in here to make it feel a little bit more fall. So I have this pretty little fairy, what do you call this, like fairy glass, kind of amber glass dish. And it's not 100% my style, but I have a hard time getting rid of it because the girls just love it during fall time, and it holds this pumpkin perfectly. So I use this every year, always in this spot. And then I also have this amber glass bottle. It says 1776. I think you guys told me, oh yeah, it says log cabin syrup underneath it. So I like kind of keeping like pieces together. So the fact that these are both amber glass, they're a little bit different colors, but I still think that they work well together. And then remind me what this stuff is called. I've always called it maize, but you guys reminded me that it's something else that starts with an M. I got this also with my YouTuber friends last fall, and I was trying to find somewhere cute that it could work. I think that these reds really contrast nicely with the greens in the picture, and it gives it a little bit of height over on this side too. And then just to keep things in three, I actually got this Earl Grey candle gifted to me from Liz Marie Galvin when we visited the Found Cottage. It smells good. I have not lit it yet, but I like that it's kind of a little shorty. Kind of brings a little brightness to this area too. That's kind of what we're gonna do for over here. Okay, so I'm watering this plant because I know I'm gonna get comments about how sad it looks. Listen, it'll be better before the home tour. Okay, so I will admit that this is one of the more challenging areas in our home to decorate. Not because it's not beautiful, but because this piece is so big and there's like nothing to it. There are times that I put a wreath here. I don't really know if I have one that would go here. Maybe. I don't know, I'll think about it. But then anything that is up here is above eye level. So sometimes it feels a little bit wonky. I have this big old basket of gourds right here. I shared that I got these at a garage sale a couple years ago for $4 for all of them. They came in this big pillowcase and it was really gross, and I told y'all that I was gonna clean them and I never did. But I don't know, there's something about them being kind of gross anyway that it doesn't bother me too bad. I don't really know what I'm going to do, or if this is going to feel like too much or not enough. I'm trying again to kind of go with thirds, like candles, giant gourd. Let's see if another gourd works, or if I should go with like a pumpkin or something. There it is with the gourd. Here it is with a little pumpkin gourd. I don't know, what are we thinking? Maybe the pumpkin gourd, because it's a little bit less redundant. Next to our pantry, we have this beautiful little antique side table. I found this on Marketplace last year. And then I have this little antique chocolatey brown crock that I found at Junk Stock a couple years ago. And I'm just gonna do what I did last year. I found this wheat, I think it was either at Home Goods or Hobby Lobby. I think it was actually at Home Goods. I'm just gonna set it in here, but then last year when I put it in, it all spread out a lot. And so I'm actually just gonna tie this little rubber band at the very bottom to keep it from getting so crazy like it did last year. It didn't look bad, it just didn't look like good. Okay, that's not working. I need to pull it up a little bit higher. I want it to fan out, just not like it was fanning out a ton last year. Okay, that's looking a little bit better. Causing a huge mess. Twiggy things, and I actually feel like they look really nice for fall, but I'm going to be changing what I put in here this year. I really loved what I had in here last year, so much so that I would actually like it to be a little bit more visible. So I'm going to be using what was last year in the main vase in the middle of the table. I'm now going to bring that over here and then bring the pieces from here and put them in the main vase. I don't know though, could I put the sticky things in the middle? Would this look crazy? No, I think I'm just gonna keep it simple and just kind of keep it with this wheat that we've got going on. Okay, so I'm actually changing my mind. I tried those, they seemed a little bit short. I don't know, it just was not working for me. And so I'm actually gonna try these in our bedroom instead. I think I'm gonna try combining them with these Cosmos. Cosmos are a little bit confusing when it comes to decorating because they're so pretty and I feel like they look so sweet and fun for spring. But in reality, they are a fall flower. So that's why I try to decorate with the white ones because I feel like they can go with any season. But I'm gonna go ahead and try dropping these in here. Kind of spread them out a little bit. Then we can put some Cosmos in here. I'll try not to have them be like too clumpy. Maybe try to kind of mix them in a little bit. Okay, so decorating the top of our hutch kind of has the same limitations as decorating the top of our pantry. Again, it's super tall. You can't really see up there very well, but I like to at least add a few fall touches to this area. I'm gonna go ahead and take out these dahlias. Not that they couldn't be used for fall, but I just don't really think of dahlias as a fall flower. Maybe if they were like a pretty plum color or something, but they're not, so we're gonna get rid of these. I found this. And if y'all are wondering what this is, I don't know what it is, but I found it in the parking lot of an Applebee's near Bellevue, Nebraska. And I just thought it was so cool looking. I don't know if it's like out of focus or whatever. I can't really see right now. But I found it. I just thought it was beautiful. It's simple, but it takes up a lot of space. I was thinking about maybe just kind of like balancing it up here, just to kind of bring a really like organic element to this area. I would put it in the basket, but it doesn't really fit. So I was thinking about doing something like this. Okay, and I've shared for years how much I love this little pheasant guy. I wonder if no, I already took the Goodwill price off of it. I got it from Goodwill, I don't even know, maybe 4 years ago. I've always thought that she's kind of a pretty girl. I'm guessing it's a girl because she's not very colorful, but still very pretty. And on the bottom it says, Lynn from Mom, 1967. I've really had a hard time finding a place for this, but I think that up here might actually be the best spot that I found. Because there's years that I haven't even used this because I couldn't find a non-awkward spot for it. We're gonna put her right up here, right next to the Whistler's mother. And I love how this takes advantage of her shape. It's low down here where this toxicology, I think that that's what it says. I can't see it from where I'm at. There's this big medical book down here. And I just think that her shape lends so nicely to this space. I'm actually gonna bring her back just a little bit. Make sure that we can see that pretty silhouette. You know, as the seasons start to change, I'm always reminded of how much God loves rhythm. The trees let go, the air slows down, the world becomes quieter. And there's this gentle invitation to do the same, to slow down, to make space, to create beauty that reflects His peace. I think our homes can be one of the most sacred spaces where that happens. I had the opportunity this week to speak to a group of women at another church, actually. The theme was creating a beautiful and cost-effective home that reflects our family and style. In here, I went through some design things, but what it really came down to was, why do our homes matter? Our homes matter because God is our creator. He designed beauty, order, and rest into the world. Our homes reflect His image when we bring beauty and order into them. Creating beauty in our homes reflects God's creativity and brings peace to our families. Hospitality is also an extremely important value of mine. Our homes are not for impressing, but for serving, welcoming, and showing Christ's love. Home should be a place of ministry and refuge. I also spoke about contentment and stewardship, using what we have wisely, resisting comparison, which to me is the hardest thing, and being faithful with our resources. It's really not about the comparison, it's about serving your family well. And we also want our homes to be a place of peace and rest so that they can mirror the rest that God invites us into. When you think about it, from the very beginning, God was a designer. He created order out of chaos. He filled the earth with color and texture and light. And then He placed humans right in the middle of that beauty, not just to live in it, but to tend it, to bring order, to make it flourish. In a small way, every time we decorate or rearrange a space, we are echoing that same creative heart. But I think that it's easy to forget why we do it. We can start chasing this idea of perfection, thinking that our homes have to look a certain way before it can be meaningful. But the truth is, beauty isn't about performance. It's about peace. It's about cultivating an atmosphere where our families can rest and where others can encounter the love of God through the warmth of our presence. Your home doesn't have to be perfect to be sacred. It just has to be open. So maybe this fall, as you add those cozy touches and pull out your favorite candle, you can ask a different kind of question. Not, does this look Pinterest worthy, but does this create peace? Does this help my family feel loved? Does the space point back to the one who gives us rest? That's what true hospitality looks like. Not entertaining, not impressing, but welcoming. And maybe that's the invitation of this season, to create spaces of warmth and welcome that remind the people who walk through our doors that God Himself is near. Lastly, we are going to make a centerpiece for our table. I gathered these last year from Hobby Lobby. I wanted to make a bouquet that was like my ultimate fall colors. And I really feel like I succeeded when I put this together. I love the goldenrod color with these dark purpley browns and the muted greens. I just feel like this is so beautiful. You guys may remember in my most recent thrift haul that I found this beautiful antique, I think it's a McCormick bowl. It's like this yellowware with this cute little blue stripe. I don't typically put blue in my fall decorations, but I thought it might be nice just to have a little pop of a cooler color, something a little bit unexpected. And then we have this wheat ironstone. I've used this every year in our fall decorating, and we're gonna use her again. So our table is a little bit funny. You guys may notice that these chairs are the center of the table, but the table is not actually centered with the room. And if it were, we would not be able to walk through to get to the kitchen. So we do have to have the table slightly off-centered on this way, but I do like to have our centerpieces centered with this chandelier, which I don't know if you can necessarily see in the frame that you guys are looking at. So in order to kind of offset the awkwardness of having an off-centered centerpiece, I like to try to bring something down over here to make it also centered with the actual table itself. I think especially because this is a taller centerpiece, I really want to make sure that it's like very much centered with the chandelier, both going this way and also as you were looking at our window and everything too. I want it to be exactly underneath it. Okay, that was really easy. I just literally plopped it in there and I feel like it, at least from this angle, it looks great. And then over here, I'm just gonna start layering. So I'm gonna start with this wheat ironstone plate that I have, and then we'll put this little McCormick bowl on top of it. And I'm going to be placing one of my Antique Candle Company candles in here. This one is Autumn Woods. Let's go ahead and light it. And then because it feels a little bit empty, I'm gonna bring in some greenery to just kind of fill out this bowl a little bit. I'm trying to get it so that the stems are down. These were just like some extras that I had from the Hutch. And then I'm going to bring over these corns, trying to make sure that the ends of them are not anywhere near the candle, but just, I don't know, something to, I don't know, this would be silly if I like brought one down here and one up here. I'm literally just figuring this out as I'm going. Maybe I'll bring some of this like little eucalyptus up here as well, just to get a little bit of green in there. My goal is just to kind of fill it out a little bit so it doesn't look so just empty. Well, friend, I want to say thank you so much for joining me on today's video. Hey, if you guys are not already subscribed, that would be so wonderful. I know that only a fraction of you guys who come back week after week are subscribed, and not only does it bless my family, but it also it determines on whether or not I can continue making videos like this. So I appreciate every single one of you. If you guys enjoyed this video, please give me a like. If you guys enjoyed watching the process of this all being put together, I would love to hear from you in the comments. The only thing I have left to do before we do a full home tour this autumn is our front porch. So that's what's coming up next. But I think I'm gonna do like a midweek video for the porch so that I'm able to show you guys the entire full home tour for fall next weekend. At least that's my goal. So thank you again for joining me in this week's video, and until next week, we'll see you later. Bye.